Hello Flosstube, my name is Jani, and this video is in honor of the beginning of StitchMaynia. Um, as we all stitchers know, StitchMaynia it's a month where we celebrate in very different forms our love for stitching, um, starting new projects every day, every other day, working with weaves, working with new projects. It's a celebration with no rules, the way we wanted to do it. So I start doing StitchMaynia 2 years ago, and every year I've been doing things differently. And this year I was not even having any plans, but you make plans and then you don't follow them. So the no plan things uh, became a StitchMaynia of my own. So yeah, we talk about it in a minute. I just want to share you a little stash that I got from last week, so we can talk later only about StitchMaynia. So as I showed you in my last video, I love to hashtag do my own stash. So I dyed and bake this fabric. I prepared these two luganas. This is Lugana 28, and it's in a really murky vibe, with greens and browns and grays. So I was thinking this would be really nice for a pattern, of course for a pattern, for a sampler. I have been looking this amazing antique reproduction and samplers, and sometimes they use really off-white or simple linen, but there are another samplers that they have this vibe of a really dusty and rusty fabric, like green and really dark for a sampler. So I thought, I will be in the search of the perfect sampler for this. I have a few and I love them, so perhaps I could use it for this fabric. And I also prepared this, also it's a Lugana 28. This is a really simple finish, with really light tans and yellows and touches of really light orange, and of course it's baked. I had my last fabric. I haven't really do the baking process, but I really wanted to try with these two. And the marks that you get, these dark marks, are the result of the oven, so it's really cool. and of course you have to be careful and turning around your fabric in the oven. I let this fabric about 35 minutes, 35-40 minutes, to really medium slow temperature, and I keep mushing and rolling around the fabric, so the effect would be uniform, or for all of the material. So you can see in in the borders the effect it's darker than in the center, because I usually put my fabric like that, and you know, moving around and turn around. So yeah, usually the corners of the fabric, or the edges of the fabrics are the one who got more damage or more burned. So I love it. It's so pretty. And a stitcher friend asked me for this kind of color for Zelda. She wants to stitch Zelda, so I will send her this video or a picture of the photograph of the fabric, I mean, and see if she like it for Zelda. I think Zelda would look really pretty here, because the pinks are going to really pop in this fabric. So we'll see. So this was my making of a stash. I have to fold my fabric once I finish with her, you know, a little OCD. The thing also with the baking process is that after the baking, it's harder to iron the fabric, because you kind of seal the fabric and you know, with the heat, and it's not stiff or anything, but yeah, it's a little harder to iron and achieve a really flat fabric. But of course you can do it. So yeah, the joys of of making your own hand dye fabric. And talking about hand dye, let me show you. I also show you last week these flosses that I work on. I had a little mishappen with this with this piece, because I prepared the flosses and put you know, a sewing floss to hold them, but this one unraveled, so I have to do it again. But you can see the colors here, and I need to prepare these hanks in smaller skins. So, but you can see the colors a little better. It is browns and greens and red. This one is very similar, just with a touch of gray. I love this one because of this turquoise, and you know, with the green, it's really pretty. And this olive with the brown. This is also really pretty. The yellow is always it's a winning in the battle of the dyeing process, because you know, the yellow color is always here to stay. So you have to be really careful. And I love this one because it has a lot of colors, and it's very pretty. And this one with you know, orange and yellow and gold, it's really similar to this one, but this has the pink. And finally this one, again the turquoise and the green, and in this case gray. And I love this. I probably will be doing some samplers or something. I don't know. Well, the plan is to finish, to keep dyeing these fabrics, I mean these flosses, because I'm going to take this with me for the Mexican retreat. I will prepare them individually in order to sell them in the retreat. I'm getting ready my little tags. So Yeah, I mean it's a joy to for me to work on this, work with colors and make these flosses. So I'd be really happy to share this with the attendees in the retreat. And I have still a lot of hanks to prepare. Um, this is one cone one cone of DMC. It's the large cone. It's 500 grams of floss, and it's DMC, uh, regular white floss. So yeah, I need to keep you know, dyeing and preparing my skins, but I can have my little stash factory and have fun. I really prefer to be dyeing this, you know, on weekends and be really relaxed and, you know, with all the time and not stressing the process, because yeah, it's a labor of love, but you have to, you know, to take care and to keep focus. So I need some time from my family here in the house when I'm working with my dyes, with fabric or flosses. So they know me, and Mom, are you going to dye this weekend? Yes, please give me a day. So they leave me alone and I can play a little. And also this is more like a regular stash acquisition, not not so much making my own. I got the new DMC flosses, etoile, something. I wish I could speak French, such a beautiful language. And these are really pretty. I haven't work or try any of these. I was thinking that I got all the 35 new colors. There are 35 or 34. I guess there are 35. But I miss one. I miss the white one. And I thought that I put it in my basket when I ordered them, and but no, I forgot the white. And this is the lighter one. This is ecru, and this is C415. The numbers are, you know, or of the original DMC. So you have 415, which is the normal DMC in gray. This is my one of my boxes of my master set of DMC, but because I work in a lot of projects, I usually take them and take some of the flosses and put them in my projects. But we can see, for example, this is ecru, which should be ecru, but they are not quite the same. They are a little different. And yeah, these new flosses are intended to bring a little sparkle to your stitching, not necessarily a metallic finish, because I have read that they are easy to stitch with. So you have the 6 plies of floss, and I guess you can take 1 or you can take 2 or 3 or the number of plies that you wanted. And they have this little like mm, shiny floss, and but they are not hard to stitch on, as hard as the metallics. So we'll see, we will play with them. Let me, I bring another box. So yeah, these are much more similar. This is C 550 and 550. So yeah, they are not exactly a match, but very similar. We also have the 666, and I have it here. Yeah, so this is more orange, but you can see the similarity. So yeah, they are really pretty. And one of the things that I well, that they have in the store, you can get this in the store with a, you know, the beautiful golden tin box. But if I got the box, the price of the full set of these was really expensive. And I say, you know what, the box is really pretty, but not this time. And I just got the flosses. But yeah, with the box, the golden box, it was like like the double of the price. So I say no. I just need my new flosses. And they also send me a free perle skin. This is 758. You know, it's the classic color that we use in the Mirabilia skin. So, but this is perle number 5. So you can use it for hard danger, or, you know, specialty stitches and stuff like that. It's really pretty. So thank you, I got this skin for free with my purchase. The store where I ordered this is here in Mexico. It's one of the few stores that sold DMC products. It's in the city of Querétaro. It's called Diseños para Bordar. So you can order online, and they are really kind, and they help you. Okay. So, and talking about materials and, you know, stores online, I received a message a couple of weeks ago from a store online who sells designs for cross stitch, and they are in English and also in Spanish. So the site is Joyful Expressions, and Sandra, who is the owner and the designer, wrote me a message, and, you know, talking about her site. So they have very pretty design and samplers, and mostly Bible verse kind of designs. I don't really stitch that type of projects, but it's really interesting, and there are a lot of people who like to stitch them. So it's a great site if you want to give her a visit. So I guess that's the stash part of the video. Let's start with the StitchMaynia part. Okay, this is not going to be your regular StitchMaynia programmation with a lot of beautiful projects and one project for each day, and, you know, new starts and all of that wonderful thing. I was this last weekend, minding my own business and stitching on my mirrors and playing with my samplers and stuff. And I read a comment of one of my viewers, and she said, I wish you could show your chatelaines more often and work on them. So I regularly I receive that kind of comments, and I say, oh yeah, I wish that too. But sometimes you stitch what, at least in my case, I stitch what I feel like. So yeah, I received the comment, and oh, thank you, I will try. And then these kind of little things that one of my stitchy friends also start to stitch on her chatelaine again, and you start to like receive these little signs. And I said, you know what, one night I just take out one of my projects, and the idea was just fondle my my materials and everything. And I think in Misty Morning Vineyard, because it's one of the chatelaines that I have that had a lot more work done. So I'm like three-quarters of progress. So I said, you know what, I need to to say hi to an old friend. And yes, I took my mandala Misty Morning Vineyard, and here she is. I love all my chatelaines, of course, and I a few months ago I took again one of them, and I was looking at the silks, but I feel in that moment a little overwhelmed with the instructions. And you know how you work in a project and you start to remember the the symbols with the correspondent floss and all the stitches, and you have that knowledge and that rhythm. But after all these years, I was really scared with all my chatelaines, because I haven't worked on them for a very long time. So a couple of months ago I took one of them, and I got overwhelmed because there were a lot of colors, and I didn't exactly knew where I finish and how to do next. And so I was expecting to feel the same with this project, to feel a little overwhelmed and like reading in a strange language. But no, the totally opposite happened, and was to look at this and know exactly where to continue and what to do. So, and even then I start to look at the silks and the colors and the symbols in the design, and I immediately found a couple of mistakes. I fixed them and start again. Was really organic, in that same night I fixed the little mistakes that I found, and we talk about mistakes later. And start to take my colors, and it was like very like it was the time. So I had this part like about that. So I finished this corner, this urn, and this urns also with the flowers, and start this column. and I have been enjoying this so much, so much. And I have my pattern. I usually got my Chatelaines from Martina, and with PDF files. But these projects are so old that I wasn't sure if I only had the printed version, and I wanted to check if I had the PDF version to put it in my phone and in my iPad, and being able to follow the design on that, and to keep it easy for me. And I have all my Chatelaines patterns in my computer, in my office. I have a lot of those files there, and I have St. Petersburg white nights, and alpine, and the Japanese garden, and medieval town mandala, and all of those are there. And usually I look at finishes picture on the internet, and I keep them as reference. And if I make conversion, I keep the conversion list in each of the files. I'm very organized in that aspect, so I knew that even though it has been years and years since I started this project, that I had all the information that I could easily found it. So I was sure that I have this pattern in a PDF format, but no, apparently I just got the printed version, and but I ordered the silks from European Cross Stitch, and I ordered all of these. I ordered the fabric in 123 stitch, because this is an opalescent fabric. It's a Lugana. It's 32, and it's opalescent, and I don't like to stitch on opalescent. One of the things that I have been realized in these couple of days, but I love the fabric with this design. I'm a smart cookie. and I love the choice that I make with this, and with all the silks and the really soft pink fabric, to really stand with to complement the colors in the picots and in the rest of the design. And the opalescent thread give this beautiful finish. So yeah, I start to stitch on this and to stitch on this, and then I realized that I have a huge mistake here, because all this black work I did it in a wrong floss, in a wrong thread. This is a merlet by, Anchor Marlet. It's like a rayon floss, really shiny, like a silky floss, and really slippery, and kind of a pain in the to stitch with. And this black work, I stitch it with this, but I was looking at my materials, and as I was telling you, it was really organical and really natural to follow the instruction. And I immediately look at these two dark silks, and I said, you know what, these two silks, these two skeins of silks, I'm not going to use it anymore in the design. Why I have so many of these floss, so much of these floss? And I read the instructions, and this black work it's supposed not to be done in this floss, silky, slippery floss, but in this dark silk, because otherwise I won't have enough. I have another skein of this. I won't have enough to finish all the work in the four with the 4 picots if I would continue use this anchor silky strange floss. So the thing I did, I undo frog all of this black work and redo it with the silk that was supposed to be doing. So I fix that, and I will have enough floss, enough silk for all the black work, and I will use this thing just in the places that it's supposed to be used. So yeah, I order all of my silks. I prepare these little plasticky things. This is a perle, and this is used in the columns. So I have 3 columns done. I need to still a lot of columns to do, and I almost finished this corner, and it was a joy in these 2 days to finish this. I need to put some specialty stitches here, but yeah, I mean, you have to wait for the for the right time. Sometimes you have to work on the things you have to work, but in this case it was like a click, and I decided that the plan for my mania, for my StitchMaynia this year, is going to be a monogamous StitchMaynia, and it's going to be a Misty Morning Vineyard from Chatelaine. And I've been stitching this also on hand. Usually when I start all of this, I had these frames and my stands, and I work on them. And it was one of the things that stopped me a little from continue with this, because I get used to work only on hand, and it was really easy for me to travel with my projects, and to grab any project, a mirabilia, sampler, even a kit, different things, and stitch it on hand. And with Chatelaines, I had to have it in a frame. I have to have it in in my stand. And it was one of the things that stopped me from continue with this. But now I decide, what, I will stitch my Misty Morning Vineyard on hand, and I will be doing the black work and doing the specialty stitches. And once I finish it, I will be putting the beading and the beads and the crystal on hand. And this corner is the result of that, and it's the work of 2 days, and I can be happier. And so in honor of all of this, I decided to dedicate this StitchMaynia month to this Chatelaine. And I don't know if I could finish this month or this year, but I'm finding again my joy on my Chatelaines. And looking, as I told you, in my files, I found the email with the order when I order all the materials and the silks and everything. And I got this kit in 2005. So 14 years later, here we are. But the price of the of that kit in 2005 was 181 $82, and right now the full kit it's 236 plus the pattern. So yeah, it's not the double the price, but something like that. And besides, 14 years ago, the exchange between Mexican peso and dollar was way different. So I was, making some stitching math, and I got this kit for about 18 or 1900 pesos. And if I wanted today this kit with the pattern and the silks and the fabric, it's about 6,000 pesos. So it's more than double the price. So that's another financial reason why I should be working on my Chatelaine. I mean, I got it really not very cheap, but to a more affordable price so many years ago, and I have to be working on them. So yeah, that was my financial segment of the video. But yeah, it was interesting to watch that. And finally, I also found in my files and my mails, I wrote Martina an email because I was really exciting. This was one of the first designs that I got from her, and one of my first kits. So I sent her an email, telling her how exciting I was and how afraid and scared I was, because it was such a difficult project, and at that time and in the present. So, and she kindly enough wrote me back, and I have an email from Martina, and she wrote me, "Don't worry, consider it as a gift that you have the opportunity to be working with silks, and they are not scary at all." I asked her about some options for the fabric. I wanted to stitch this in a light green fabric, and she wrote me back, "No, don't go for the green, go for something else." So yeah, I mean, that was the final sign that I needed, if I need a sign. So I decided to dedicate this work and this design to my StitchMaynia, which initially I didn't have any plans, and now will be a monogamous StitchMaynia, totally focused on my Misty Morning Vineyard, a beautiful design by Martina and Chatelaine Designs, and we'll be stitching with silks and trying to get in the mood already there. And I with all the picots already done, I guess that was like the difficult part of the design, finish all these beautiful birds, which are stitched one over one, and with all the combinations. But it's done. I only have to be working on the arch and the columns and the flowers, and these colors are so pretty. So yeah, now a special message to crafty curator. Please, please, girl, why don't you have this pattern? I don't know, but you should. It's gorgeous, it's you, it's beautiful. So enabling a fellow stitchers is one of my goals in life. So yeah, this is my stitching plans for StitchMaynia. Last week I didn't have any. This week I have one, and many reasons to follow it. So yeah, thank you for watching me, for joining me. I will be reporting this month my progress and my adventure with this beautiful project and design, and we'll see what happens after this month. Happy StitchMaynia for everyone. Have a lot of fun. Share your progress, share your new starts, your whips, and all this adventure that we stitchers have in common. So I see you in my next video. Bye bye.